sixth graders. Okay, yesterday we were learning how to write what algebraic expressions were. We didn't learn how to write them yet. That's coming next. However, we did learn that in order to call something an algebraic expression or a math sentence, we knew that it needed to have some different parts. So it needed to have numbers, letters, which we call variables, and operations. And then we also learned how to sort them based on the different parts. Well, today we are going to learn how to solve or evaluate different types of algebraic expressions that you will be able to see out there in the world. So the first thing that we have are algebraic expressions with exponents. So you might come across some exponents. And if you remember from one of our chapters when we first started, I think it was like chapter 1, we talked about the base number, right? It's all about and then we sang, and we put it to a power, right? Well, it works the exact same way with algebra, except instead of numbers, you have letters. Like, for example, you could have M. So, M times M times M times M, right? So instead of this being good, no, this is like a math problem. I know, totally weird, but it really is a math problem. Remember, we're no longer using an X for a multiplication symbol, because then that would be MX, 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 right? So instead, use that dot. Okay, now, this problem, we can collapse this and say it's all about the M, about the M, about the M, about the M, which means that really this problem is all about the M to the power of 4. It works the exact same way that it did with numbers, except you're just using letters because we don't know what the M is. That's it. M could be for milk, right? 1 milk, 2 milks, 3 milks, 4 milks, right? We could have like milks that are $5 a piece. 5, 5, 5, and 5, and we would have to multiply each of those, right? So we don't know how much the milk costs, but we do know that it is M to the power of 4. Same way as you would write exponents with numbers, except there's letters. Okay, what about this one? This one, we have 1.5 times H times H times H. How would you write something like that? Okay, now we have numbers and letters. What? Mind blown, right? No, don't freak out. You're totally fine, because pretend that this was a 3 times a 3 times a 3 times a 3. So how would you write something like this? Well, if I asked you to put this to an exponent in chapter 1, you would have told me this is just 1.5 times 3 to the power of 3. Well, those H's are not 3's. They're H's, right? So it's all about the H, about the H, about the H, 3 times. So instead, it's now 1.5 times H to the 3rd. We don't know what H is yet. Eventually, they will tell us. Now, in math, we don't even have to use the little dot. We can get rid of this, and we can squish this down and make it 1.5 H to the 3rd, because that means multiplication. So you really can just squish all that together. And look how much simpler and neater that is. We took it from something really big and long to something small and compact. We're organizers. That's what we do. We organize. Okay, now I want you to do a triad. Actually, 2. Let's do 2 triads. Okay, so if we were in our book, which you can be if you want to follow along online, you would be on triad number 4. And this one says J times J times J times J. Oh my gosh, times J times J. Look at all those dots. Okay, make that into an exponent for me. And then triad number 5. Triad number 5 says I want 9 times K times K times K times K. All right, go ahead and hit pause right now so that you don't hear me. And I'm going to go ahead and solve these for you. All right, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I know that this simply just means J to the power of 6. All right, number 5. Number 5 looks a lot like B, except there's all these K's. And I know that I just took all these H's and just put them together right there. So I'm going to do the exact same thing, and I am going to put all these K's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. It's all about the K. All right, but there was one other part, and I cannot forget about that other part. I need to take this 9 right here, and I need to do something with it, just like I did something with this 1.5 when I brought that over. Well, I multiplied it. So I'm going to do the exact same thing, and I'm going to multiply it. I can put the dot in between and say 9 times k to the 5 equals 9k times 5. Same exact thing. Your choice, how you want to write it. Okay, go ahead and give me a rating. 1, 2, and 3. How are you feeling right now about writing algebraic expressions when there's an exponent? Are you able to collapse it down and organize the work? Okay, next thing that we're going to look at today is evaluating algebraic expressions. So the question that you're going to ask yourself now is, how do you evaluate algebraic expressions? Can never spell that word. Algebraic expressions. Okay, well, there is a fancy term that we are going to use to solve this, and it is called substitution. Yep, substitution. We are going to be substituting in. Remember that variables are just placeholders, so we will be substituting. Like when a teacher is gone and you have a teacher that is different, that is a substitute, right? So when we substitute, we replace a number for a letter. So substitution. Okay, so substitution means replacing the unknown letter, so the variable, for a number. All right, well, what in the world does that look like? So we're going to go variable for a number? What? Okay, Miss Englander, you're just talking crazy now. No, I'm not. I promise. This is where the fun part comes in of algebra, because now we are going to be solving for the mystery, okay? So, for example, A. Let's do a letter A right here. All right, so letter A, example A, says K plus 10. It wants us to solve k plus 10. And it tells us when k equals 25. So they are telling us that in this problem, k equals 25. So our job is, in the problem, we find every k and we turn it to a 25. You are correct. So this k right here is now going to be a 25. So we now write this as 25 plus 10. So step 1, we're going to use substitution. We are going to replace the variable for the number. I took this 25 and just slapped it right on top of the k. And now I have 25 plus 10, and I am ready to, part 2, solve. The mystery is 25 plus 10 gives me 35. So the value of this expression is 35 when I evaluate. That's it. That is all you do. All right, let's try another one. All right, let's do problem B. All right, problem B says 4n. What? 4 n's? No, that means 4 times n. So I have 4 times n when n equals 12. So in this problem, what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a line right here because this problem is a little bit hard to see. I kind of squished it and I apologize. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I am going to find my substitution, right? So step 1, find substitution. N equals 12. So where I see the n, I am now going to put a 12. Now, this is weird because if I put a 12 on top of there, that gives me 412, and that's not what that means. This means 4 times n. So I actually really need to do 4 times n. Now that I have a dot in the middle there, I am ready to substitute and multiply because this problem here was supposed to be multiplied. So I need to remember to add the sign. Otherwise, I won't multiply. That's really, really important that I add that multiplication. Now, I'm ready to multiply. So this really is 4 times 12. Okay, well, Miss Englander, what is 4 times 12? Well, 4 times 12, we know, is 48 because 4 times 2 is 24, and 24 plus 24 is 48. So the answer to this whole problem here is 48 when I evaluate. You just use substitution and are solving math problems with letters. You did it. You totally just did it. Okay, now I want you to do 2 triads. And I personally am going to turn my page because, well, I wrote really big and I don't have enough room. And I feel like if I keep writing, I'm going to squish it all in here and then you won't be able to see anything. Unless, maybe I could squish it right over here. Yeah, let's do it over here. Okay, let's do our triads. I think I could do them here. Okay, so triad number 6. So triad number 6 says 24 plus C and it says that C equals 9. And then number 7. Try it, number 7. I'm going to get squishy here, guys. Sorry. Says D minus 17 when D equals 30. Okay, go ahead and solve both of those. Hit pause so that you don't hear my voice. So hit pause. I'm going to go ahead and solve these without you, and then I want you to come back when you're done. Hit play. All right, so I know 9. So where I see the C, I'm going to put a 9. 24 plus 9. And 24 plus 9 is 33. Okay, on this one, D equals 30. So where I see a D, I'm going to put 30. And 30 minus, sorry, that one is crazy. 30 minus 17 gives me 13. All right, how did you do on substitution, solving? How are you feeling about this? Go ahead and put your rating out to the side in a box. Let me know. And now we're going to turn the page and we are going to do our very last section, 2 variables. So these problems had 1 variable. Now we are going to do substitution when there are 2 variables. Okay, so solving algebraic expressions. I'm just going to abbreviate now. Algebraic expressions with 2 variables. We're going to get tricky right now. How in the world do you solve algebraic expressions with 2 variables? How do you do this? Is this even possible? Yes. Yes, it is. And it's super fun. Okay, ready? All right. We have a problem that looks like this. N minus M. Okay, so this is example A. N minus M. What? That's not even math, Miss Englander. Like, that's just the alphabet with a subtraction sign in between. No, really, this is math. It stands for something. Maybe you have nectarines and mangoes. I don't know. We're eating fruit right now. Okay? And they tell you that N equals 30 and M equals 12. Well, guess what? I'm going to do the exact same thing I did on the page before, but I'm going to do it 2 different times. So I am going to look for the first letter, which is N. And where I see an N, I am going to put a 30. N. So I just put the 30 there instead. On the other one, I see a 12. M equals 12. So over here, I'm going to find M, and instead of it being M, it equals 12. M is equal to 12. It's equality. And I had a subtraction sign, so now I'm just going to subtract. That's it. That is all that you do. Same exact step as before, except now you just have 2 letters. 30 minus 12 gives us 18, and you're done. That is how you solve algebra. They are giving you what the value is. Okay, it's your turn. Last try it. All right, this is try it number 9. Are you ready? Try it number 9. It says P divided by Q. P divided by Q. Yep, you're dividing letters now. Congratulations. Okay, Miss Englander has just hit the crazies. Yes, I really do want you to divide letters. Okay, pizzas divided by quails. How many quails can eat the pizzas, or how many slices do they get? Okay, P equals 24 and Q equals 8. Okay. Step 1, hit pause so you don't hear me solve this problem for you. When you're done, come back and hit play. I almost just started solving this without you. Okay, here we go. P equals 24. So where I see a P, I'm putting 24. Where I see the Q, I am putting an 8. Oh my gosh, this mystery just says 24 divided by 8. Oh, why didn't they just say that to begin with? Okay, and 24 divided by 8 is 3. That's it. How did you do on this? If you are still struggling with being able to put numbers in for letters, please let me know right now. Don't do anything else. You need to let me know so that I can help you. This is a really, really important skill to have. Okay, please summarize and answer your essential question about how do you solve or how do you evaluate algebraic expressions. So evaluating algebraic expressions. And then out to the side, please tell me, how are you feeling right now about each of these different sections, or maybe overall, how are you feeling about substitution? How do you feel about algebra? How are you feeling about this lesson? All right, and now you may head on over to Google Classroom and ask for help if you need it, or head to Big Ideas and do your practice problems. As always, thanks for all of your hard work, and make it a great day the Cougar way.